All right, this one's a deeply personal video, and this is something that we all deal with at some level. And I'm driving right now, and a lot of times I'll drive to clear my head, or I'll use that time to clear my head. And so I thought this was a great way to tackle this topic. We had somebody ask recently, how do you deal with just negative emotions and self-doubt? So I'm going to dive into that. Now, no matter what you do and no matter how good you think you are at something, if you're a normal human being, there's always going to be a circumstance where you think, yeah, but nobody will care, or maybe you got some bad feedback from somebody and it just feels like, I don't feel like I should share. I don't feel like I have anything to share. So we're going to talk about these things. So first of all, understand this: despite what society says, it is absolutely normal to feel things like fear, anxiety, uncertainty. And I would say that if you don't feel those things, that's actually where you know that you're somebody that should not be trying to help others, because you're likely fooling yourself into thinking you're way more competent than you are. Okay, the only person that never doubts themselves and that is just confident to the utmost degree is a charlatan. That's the facts. And I went from somebody that never wanted a YouTube channel, never wanted to touch this stuff, never wanted a podcast, never really wanted to have a life that was highly visible at all, because I'm a pretty private person, to somebody that does a lot of these things. And that was just because that, guys, I put one thing out there in my book, Conscious Coaching, about my hospitalization, and it was one of the darkest times of my life. And the response was, a year and a half later, getting a best-selling book internationally that's been translated into numerous languages. And that was something I couldn't come to terms with, is how some people felt like, all right, here's something that I shared that was one of the most embarrassing times of my life. I mean, I was hospitalized for a year of my life because of essentially a combination of depression, exercise addiction, and an eating disorder. And now here I am, a strength and conditioning coach that works with elite special forces and athletes. So I just felt like I shouldn't share that, but people responded to it. And that's the truth, is that no matter what level of self-doubt you feel, somebody out there can relate to it. And it's our responsibility to a degree to share that. So don't listen to people that make you feel like everything's got to be perfect and polished. Just put stuff out there and realize that there's people out there that want to hear from you. And this is how you become a better coach as well. Another piece, you're never going to be satisfied with your own work. There is not a day that goes by that I don't think one of my courses could have been better, one of these videos could have been better, a podcast could have been better, and I've just learned that that's what you've got to deal with. That's the life of somebody that wants to help others, is somewhat of an artist, because that's the nature of coaches or entrepreneurs or leaders. There's an art and a science, is you're never going to be fully satisfied. Don't worry about that. There's always something else you can do. The last thing I'll say is this: be mindful of criticism, right? There's usually some truth in that, but also understand that not all forms of feedback are super relevant. Guys, there's somebody out there that owns a Thai restaurant, which inherently serves spicy food, and somebody has given them a 1-star Yelp review because the food was too spicy. You need to understand that some things aren't for everybody. My channel is not for everybody. My personality is not for everybody. Who cares? It is so better to be the man or woman in the arena trying to contribute to the world than it is just some passive bystander casting shadows. Somebody that's not lighting candles should never complain about being in the dark. So acknowledge negative emotions, acknowledge self-doubt, understand those aren't weaknesses, they're superpowers, and they can help you every single day. If you want more on this, check out our newsletter. We talk about these kinds of personal issues all the time, and share this with a friend if you think they can benefit from the message.